Hey guys, Nintendo has just been releasing so much news for Fire Emblem Heroes. Yesterday on their Japanese Twitter account, they announced that Berkut will be our next Grand Hero battle and have shown us some of his in-game artwork. They've said that this Grand Hero battle will be happening next week and they'll tease us with a map closer to the date. Data miners haven't been able to find any information about him in the game files yet, so either Nintendo hasn't put this in or they're making it harder for us to data mine such information. However, in Echoes, he was a Lance Cavalier, so there is a good chance they just might stick true to this. They've also released trailers today for the new banners coming up, one with Alm's party, Delthea, Mathilda, and Gray, and another for Celica's party, Saber, Leon, and Sonia. If we look at Celica's party, Leon and Saber both have new slaying weapons, and these slaying weapons are pretty much a straight up power creep of the pre-existing killer weapons. It pretty much invalidates the existence of the killing edge as well as the killer bow. So if you're thinking of a killer weapon build, my advice would be to hold out for a slaying weapon instead. Saber also comes with new skills, HP Speed 2 as well as Shield Pulse 3. The way that Shield Pulse works is that as a one-off, it reduces the cooldown of defensive specials such as Sacred Cow, Aegis, Pavis, and Iskachon. And at the same time when the special activates, your damage is further reduced by another 5 points. I'm guessing that the reduced cooldown from Shield Pulse will actually stack with the reduced cooldown from Slaying Edge, such that Saber gets Aegis activated at the start of every map. However, probably the main thing that will limit this skill's viability is that it occupies a B slot, which most people currently use for Breaker skills, Quick Riposte, or Desperation. The main question I have in my mind right now is if this skill will actually work with Miracle. Because if it does work with Miracle, and you combine it with Quicken Pulse, Miracle can go from a 5-turn cooldown to a 2-turn cooldown. And then we have Sonia. She appears to have a unique tome called Dark Excalibur. And this tome has 14 might, and appears to be effectively what is the green tome version of Wardao. These sorts of weapons usually pair well with a fast cooldown special, so her default moonbow should work fine. Previous wielders of the Wardao, Karel and Athena have had 35 and 38 speed, so I'm hoping that Sonia does get a good speed to make use of her weapon as well. Currently, Nino is still the fastest. At neutral, she has 33 attack and 36 speed, so I do wonder if Sonia will be able to beat that. Personally though, I find it hard to get past the raw power of blade tomes when they're properly buffed, so I doubt that Sonia's tome will be anything game-breaking. So Sonia also comes with Mirror Strike, which grants attack and risk +4 on initiating. While getting the attack +4 is nice on initiating, it's really not as nice as getting the Swift Sparrow where you get an extra speed +4 to ensure the double. Her wrist ploy will sync nicely with her default kit, but this all kind of points to Sonia having high speed and perhaps slightly lower attack. And looking at Alm's banner, we have 2 new weapons. Mathilda has the Rider's Bane and Gray has the Zanbato. These are going to be super effective against cavalry units. This might seem like a nice check to cavalry units at first, but I personally find the issue of approaching mage cavalry units like Reinhardt, Owen, or Cecilia more challenging than actually killing them. Mathilda has a new skill called Cancel Affinity Tree, which is probably the most confusing skill description of all time. So the description reads, any weapon triangle affinity granted by unit skills is negated. So one thing for certain is that don't put Triangle Adept on the same unit that you're going to put Cancel Affinity on, because Triangle Adept will just get cancelled out. The questionable part is if skills solely refers to skills like Triangle Adept, or if it refers to weapons as well, such as the gem weapons, or even normal weapons. Because if it refers to regular weapons as well, it completely reverses the weapon triangle. But I highly doubt that skills refer to weapons, but we'll just have to wait for the maps and units to be released tomorrow to actually test it out. And the second part reads, if affinity disadvantage exists, weapon triangle affinity granted by full skills is reversed. Again, I can only assume that skills refer purely to Triangle Adept, such that only Triangle Adept units will be affected. One major issue I can think of is that a lot of green units are currently running Triangle Adept to counter Reinhardt. If Reinhardt ends up inheriting Cancel Affinity 3, this pretty much screws up your plans for your Triangle Adept green. Other common Triangle Adept users are the Raven Tome users, so if colorless units start rocking it in their B skill, it might mess our plans up a little bit. So this skill definitely shakes things up, but we kind of have to wait for it to come out to actually figure out what it does. Grey has Wind Boost and Sword Valor. Sword Valor will be nice for farming SP, but I can't say I'm too excited about another sword unit. Grey is a villager though, so he might get slightly higher BST like Donald, Tobin, and Faye. Delthea has a unique tome called Dark Aura, and it's really interesting because it grants adjacent allies +6 attack, but this is only if they are melee units like Sword, Axe, Lance, or Dragon. So Delthea does have the potential to be a really good buffing unit, but not to buff a fellow Blade Tome user. He also comes with Drive Attack, which will stack with the buffs given from her Dark Aura, so she really becomes a good supporter unit. Delthea had really good growth rates in the main game, but because she's not a villager, I doubt that they'll give her higher BST as well. Also, in the last part of the video, they teased that a new chapter, chapter 12, is finally coming and it will be called Bitter Enemies, and here's a sneak preview of one of the maps, and it's got Clive on it as well. And that's all the updates for today. What do you guys think of the new banner? I'll probably wait for the stats of the units to be known before summoning on them myself. Until next time, see ya!